Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So finally, most awaited closing event of Gauradesh temple. We are very, very happy that Maharaj is with us today. Hari Bol. So today we will kick off a very blissful event, which is our Bhagavad Saptāh 2025, Gauradesh, Cologne, Germany. And we will learn more about the program and why it is only 7 days in the guidance of His Grace Sudama Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
Hare Bol.
So this is, of course, a 7 days program. We request all of you to please make our time. And thank you everyone for taking time out today. Let's start the event because I'm also waiting to hear what comes. Hari Bol.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya
श्री विजय गौरांग दया निताय की
Jai,
सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की
Jai,
नृसिंहदेव भगवान की
Jai,
जय गौर
Hari Hari,
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रताचार्य अष्टोत्तर सदस्य भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रताचार्य अष्टोत्तर सदस्य भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासन गौर भक्तम गोविंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंज राधा कुंज गिरिवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। मधुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी महारानी की जय। समावेत भक्तवृंद की जय। और ग्लोरीज टेस्टिमनी डिवोटीज, और ग्लोरीज टेस्टिमनी डिवोटीज, और ग्लोरीज टेस्टिमनी डिवोटीज, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gaurang, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna everyone, is there someone who need a German translation? Okay, so I welcome once again for our 7-day Bhagavatam. So if you would like, you can come more closer now. Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayana Namakrishnaram Chayanarottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamadhiraye Nashtapraya Shavadresha Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishkiti Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Panchakalpatarabhyascha Bhāshanuryevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnaveभ्यो Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. So, for this year of Srimad Bhagavatam, for 7 days, we have a very, very interesting topic, which is from the 7th canto. Maybe there's some echo coming. Okay. It is about the Lord who is all merciful, the Lord who gives all protection, who is none other than Prahlad Lakshmi Nrsimha Bhagavan. Before we get into the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, let's appreciate the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. someone was asking today, how many cantos do we have in Srimad Bhagavatam? Yeah. We have 12 cantos and of covering around 18,000 shlokas. The glories of the Lord are so great that the Lord is addressed as Uttama Shloka. Of course, we can with our heart, with our love, we can also call the Lord out of affection. But it is said it is very effective when one is hearing to this wonderful shlokas written by great personalities who have sung the glories of the Lord. We may know that Srimad Bhagavatam is called Mahapurana. Atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshanaya utayah manvantareshan pathaya nirodha muktir ashraya. These are 10 subjects of Srimad Bhagavatam, and in fact qualities and qualification of Mahapurana. In fact, in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, there is a mention about Purana Lakshana. Lakshana means the qualities, the nature. Purana Lakshanam Brahman Brahmarshibir Nipunitam Shunvasva Buddhim Ashritya Veda Shastranu Sarata. It is said, Sukhadeva Goswami is telling to Saunaka Rishi, please hear with attention the characteristics of a Purana, which have been defined by the most eminent learned Brahmanas in accordance with Vedic literature. In fact, it is very important. Srila Prabhupada mentions that one should not just develop a sentimental or emotional form of devotion. One should refer Shastras and then to hear from very, very bona fide parampara that comes from the disciplic succession. We are very fortunate that Srila Prabhupada has made this wonderful work in English. It's not just available in English, but it's also available in the best form or as it is formed. Srila Prabhupada has referred previous acharyas like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. And has given us the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. These 10 qualities makes this very, very special. Even more special it becomes because it is sung by Sukhadeva Goswami. Shukha in Sanskrit is a parrot. We know that when a gawa, fruit is bitten by or eaten by a parrot, the sweetness enhances. And when this wonderful glories of the Lord and His devotees is sung by Sukhadeva Goswami, what he received from his father, Srila Vyasadeva, became even more relishable. We will see that in this 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam there is a mention about Sargo Syata Visargacha Vritti Rakshantarani Cha Vamsho Vamshanu Charitam Samstha Hetur Apashraya Dashabir Lakshanar Yuktam. These are the 10 qualities of a Mahapurana, which is a complete Purana. But then there is also mention about, we also hear there are 18 Puranas. It is said that Puranam tad vido viduhu kechit pancha vidam brahman mahat alpa vyavasthaya. Alpa vyavasthaya means there are also some secondary Puranas which have 5 lakshanas. And when Sukhadeva Goswami has sung this, it was mainly because Vyasadeva himself was not so happy after writing all literature. He still felt that how can everyone, or at least someone, or very, very few, like we call Mahatmas, right? Very few, in Kali Yuga, how can they survive? Because this is too much to, can someone call it? Is he here? Okay. It's very difficult. In Kali Yuga, Manda Sumanda, very, very dull-headed and very, very short lifespan. It becomes even more difficult, right? To get interest in Bhagavatam itself will take 10 years. And when we start reading Bhagavatam, to understand Bhagavatam, how much time do we have? To read itself it takes time, to understand it's more difficult. After understanding, to follow the life of Bhagavatam, it's even more difficult. And Vyasadeva was instructed by Narada Muni that have you glorified the qualities and wonderful pastimes of the Lord and His devotees. It's amazing. Because of that, we have access to such a wonderful work in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. After Sarga Visargascha, sometimes we may be very interested to know what is the source of everything, what is the creation, who is the supreme creator. And then there is further explanation, Sarga Visargascha, which is secondary creation. Sthanam, Poshanam, Udaya. We are going to go through the 7th canto, which is telling about Uti. Uti means inclination or impetus. And in fact, the canto is titled The Signs of Godhead. As we all would like to advance in bhakti, if we take shelter of the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is highlighting those activities that one should do which cause good result and those one should not do, our life is successful. However, Srila Prabhupada says in the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam that one should be reading Srimad Bhagavatam chapter by chapter, means gradually. Canto 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one does something haphazardiously, something, whatever they may like. Oh, I like the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam where I can directly relate the leelas of the Lord with his gopikas. It's very, very dangerous. Srila Prabhupada recommends to go very, very gradually, canto after canto. So which means when we are doing a Bhagavat study, when we want to study the scripture of Bhagavatam, we should go from the beginning. In fact, that is mentioned, Pado Yadiyo Prathama Dvitiyo. It is said the Lord's lotus feet are the 1st and 2nd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Do we approach the Lord by just seeing the face, or do we approach the Lord by taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord? Definitely by approaching the lotus feet of the Lord, because the mercy of the Lord for deliverance is at the Lord's lotus feet. And in fact, it is said that one should not just, when we enter the altar, should not just see the face of the Lord. There is a whole nice detailed description in Bhagavatam how one should approach by having the darshan of the Lord. So Pado Yadiyo, Prathama Dvitiyo, Tritiyo, Turiyo, Kathiyo, Yat Uru. The third and the fourth canto are the thighs of the Lord. Nabhi Tata Panchama Eva Shashto. The fifth is his navel. The sixth is his Uru chest. Pujantaram Dor Yugalam Tathanyo. The shoulders. The seventh and eighth canto are his arms. And in fact, we do activities with our hand. And then the ninth is his throat. Navamo Yadiyo. Kantastu Rajan Navamo Yadiyo. Mukhara Vindam Dashama Prafullam. The 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is said is the Lord's lotus face. And it is said, Tam Adi Devam Karuna Nidhanam Tamala Varnam Suhitavataram Apara Samsara Samudra Setum Bhajamahe Bhāgavata Swarupam. So the Lord is saying that when he left the world at the end of Kali Yuga, at the end of Dwapara Yuga, the Lord very mercifully has manifested in the form of course, his holy name, the transcendental name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, as well as in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, there is no difference between Srimad Bhagavatam and the Lord himself. So in this way we can understand the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam, where we should be gradually approaching the Lord by having the darshan at his lotus feet, gradually advancing to his thighs, then to his navel, to his chest, to his shoulders, to his face. And we should really do that. But for the 7 days, we appreciate the glories of Bhagavatam by picking one of the pastimes of the Lord. And last year it was Ajamilopakhyan. How by taking the shelter of the holy name, Ajamil has attained ultimate success. What did he chant? How many times? Only once. Attentively?
No.
Still he attained perfectly. Of course, in the next slide. But here we are going to talk about that devotee, not about Ajamil who by chance made it. But we are going to learn about the glories of Mahavatar, Prahlad Maharaj. So, this comes in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where it's telling about inclination of doing something, impetus to do something. Something pulls in our life, isn't it? Can someone stay still for some time? Maybe for some time. But again, immediately we start. We all wanted something. After we get that, are we still? Are we settled? We want something else. Isn't it? You wanted a BMW car, you got it. Are you happy? After some time, something else, something else, something else. All the time there is always something else that keeps us moving. And that's what we call inclination or impetus. And then one may have interest in material things. One may have interest in spiritual things. Of course, right? We have sometimes inspired to do something, to come to temple. And if we say, okay, Prabhu, there is Bhagavad Saptāh happening 7 days. He says, 7 days? It's too much. 7 days of Bhagavatam, come on. Maybe one day, tell me which day. Yeah? Sunday is okay, yeah, I can. So, there is always this in us. If someone is asking, are you a devotee? How many of us says, yes, I am a devotee? Some says I am devotee. At least one. Role models are there. Thank you. And how many say I am not a devotee? Somebody think might be. It is said that to that degree we have full faith, or to that degree we have faith in the Lord, to that degree we are devotees. And sometimes these are there for few days, yeah. And after a few days, yeah, come on, who cares if I am a devotee or not? That's okay. So based on what intention we have, for good or bad, we are going to get such result. And because of that, we are impacted, influenced, and are interacting with this material world again and again and again. But very, very interesting thing happened in the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto. That's where we are going to go through few basic questions. We may also have this. If someone is practicing bhakti new, or if someone has advanced in devotion, still also one may have this question. And the question goes like this. It says, Samah Priya Suhrid Brahman Bhutanam Bhagavatam Swayam Indriyate Katam Daityan Avadi Vishamo Yatha. Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring that you said Mother Diti is performing a big penance. He said Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, being everyone's well-wisher, he is equal and extremely dear to everyone. Yeah? This is what we hear too. In Bhagavad Gita also it is said that the Lord is equal. He is not partial to anyone. How then did he become partial to a common man for sake of Indra? In the 6th canto, because Indra, Devatas became powerful, and it is said that Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha were killed, and Diti is not happy. So she was very disturbed. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking, after hearing that, we know that Lord is very, very neutral. Why should he take side of such a person like Indra and thus kill Indra's enemies? How can a person equal to everyone be partial to some and inimical towards others? First question. Anyone has this question? If you don't have this question, you are already devotee. Yeah? No one has this? Because this is the first question sometimes we have or we hear from people, right? They say, why is Lord so cruel? What did this guy do? He did everything perfectly right. He is a very hard-working person. What did he do? In fact, Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dvesho sti na priyaha. So there is no one very dear to me. At the same time, I don't have anyone whom I am inimical. If Lord is equal to everyone, then why did Lord has to kill Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha? This is first question. And that in fact he says, I would like to have a clear answer. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, since the Lord is equally disposed to everyone, how can he be partial? Priyasya katam sureshu priti abhavaha. The Lord, who is super soul, who is present also in Hiranyakashipu's heart, right? Hiranyaksha also. So he is very, very dear and close to even Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. How? How is it partial? How is this partial? Suhridam cha katham teshva asohardam. Since the Lord says that he is Suhridam sarva bhutanam, Krishna is saying, I am very dear and the best friend. Can best friend kill someone? His own friend. How could he act with partiality by killing demons? This is first question. Then, okay, he has killed. But I have further question. What is it? Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure. Huh? He is Atma Rama. He is self-satisfied, and he is also reservoir of what? Pleasure potency. If someone does something, they do out of some gain, isn't it? What will Lord gain if he is killing Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha? That too hearing to Indradev. Huh? On one side he is favoring Indra, on the other side he is killing Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Since the Lord is transcendental, why should he deal like this with Asuras? That's okay, no? If someone doesn't want to have God consciousness, that's okay, isn't it? Why Lord has to be so partial that he is only giving favor to only who follow him and punishes who are not following him? Why that partiality? If a devotee offers me, Lord is saying, if a devotee offers me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, water, I shall accept. So, is Lord punishing the demons for this fruit, flower, water? No. He is the one who is creating everything. Is he saying, okay, Hiranyakashipu, you didn't give me water today, that's why I am going to punish you? Why does the Lord say this when he is still acting? Yeah? He is still doing something. When Lord has everything, what is the purpose of doing? Punishing Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. And in fact, he is saying, Iti na sumaha bhaga narayana gunan prati shamshaya sumahan jata tad bhavam chetum adhipati. He is saying, oh greatly fortunate and learned Brahmana. Please tell me, because I have this question. Whether Narayan is partial or impartial has become a subject of great doubt. We sometimes also have this, is Lord really favoring me? Why he always favors others? I am also a devotee. Why is Lord only favoring all those demons? I'm sorry. The demon inside us will tell us that, not other devotees. So, this is the question of Parikshit Maharaj. He is asking to Sukhadeva Goswami, and then he is saying, kindly dispel my doubt with positive evidence. We also need evidence for whatever. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking. He is asking this wonderful question for us because we, even if great devotee comes and tells Narayan is supreme, he said, what is Praman? Proof. I want the proof. So, and here starts Sri Rishit Uvacha. Sadhu Prishtam Maharaja Hares Charitam Adbhutam Yat Bhagavata Mahatmyam Bhagavati Bhakti Vardhanam. It is said, O Rajan, O King, you have asked very, very nice question. It is said, excellent. Excellent question that you have asked. In fact, why? Because it is about Haris Charitam. And Hari Charitam or Hari Katha is Adbhutam. Wonderful. Wonderful not because we can't understand. It is not okay, something we can't understand, we qualify it as wonderful. Miracle. No. It is Adbhutam because just by understanding, we are elevating to a higher state of consciousness in devotional life. It is said, Sadhu Prishtam Maharaja Haris Charitam Adbhutam Yad Bhagavata Mahatmyam Bhagavat Bhakti Vardhanam. Bhagavat Bhakti Vardhanam. Devotion to the Lord increases. That is the reason Harikatha is Adbhutam. It has the power to bring bhakti, to grow this devotion in our life. That is the beauty of Bhagavatam. It is said, गीयते परमं पुण्यं ऋषिभिर नारदभिः नत्वा कृष्णाय मुनये कथयिष्ये हरे's katham. He's saying, therefore great sages like Narada always speak upon Srimad Bhagavatam because it gives one the facility to hear and chant about the wonderful attributes of the Lord. The best thing one can do to one own self is have Bhagavatam. To hear Bhagavatam from Acharyas. Here Narad Muni and other rishis are always eager to hear, to speak Bhagavatam. And then after saying so, very important thing that Sukhadeva Goswami does is, he is saying, let me, he is saying, Natva Krishnaya Munaye, he is saying, let me offer my obeisances to Krishnaya Munaye Katayishye Hare Katha. He is saying, now I am going to speak Hari Katha, but before that, let me seek blessings from the Acharyas. And here, this emphasizes in the purport, it's mentioned the importance of taking shelter of spiritual master. Of course, on day 5, we will elaborately cover about the glories of Guru, the glories of spiritual master, from the words of Prahlad Maharaj, when he Narada. But for us, it's very important. Here we see an example that I can't sit here and speak Bhagavatam out of my own energy, out of my own intelligence. It will be a complete, hopeless attempt. That's why, whenever we are speaking Bhagavatam, we offer our obeisances and seek blessings from the Acharyas. For us, we are very blessed that Srila Prabhupada has brought this wonderful revolution, a movement, Hare Krishna movement in the West. Otherwise, I am very sure I wouldn't take up to forget about speaking, even hearing Bhagavatam. I don't know. So, I would like to offer my prayers. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नाम्ने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशदाने। And Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Bhushan Maharaj, please bless so that I can speak the purports of Srila Prabhupada from the 7th canto, so that we all can be blessed. So here we see, in fact, after that, Nirgunopi hi ajo yakto Bhagavan prakrite para swamaya guna avishya badhya badaka tam gataha. He says, Sukhadeva Goswami is saying that this Lord's pastimes are very, very tricky to understand. In fact, it is said, is always transcendental to material qualities. It's not so easy to understand the Lord and His Leela. Yeah, of course, we have different versions. We have a small book, maybe for kids with some pictures, maybe little bigger book, and bigger book. There are even bigger books, but it's not so easy to understand the Lord and His Leelas. And therefore He is called Nirguna, or without qualities. And usually we may think Nirguna means no qualities. Lord has no qualities, so what is so great? So that's why we need the guidance of Acharyas to understand Nirguna means one who doesn't have material qualities. He is full of spiritual qualities. Because he is unborn, he doesn't have any material body to be subjected to attachment or hatred. So the questions that Parikshit Maharaj was asking, why is Lord partial, doesn't exist. Because Lord is not conditioned by the material thoughts. We think someone is our friend, someone is our enemy, because we have the sense of duality. We have the sense of duality, and because of that we think someone is my friend, someone is my enemy. But why Lord will have to have such a thought at all? Lord is not thinking someone is my enemy. Though his spiritual potency, although the Lord is always above material existence, through his spiritual potency he appeared and acted like an ordinary human being, accepting duties and obligations apparently like a conditioned soul. So Maharaj is saying that one is acting like a human, like a condition, doesn't mean that Lord has become human. Some school of thought says that one is, the Lord is a human. Ramchandra, you see Ram, when he appeared, he had so many troubles. If Lord is Lord, why he has so many troubles? Right? And then they say that, oh Lord, no, yeah, he is Lord, but for temporary, for that time, he became human. This shloka is saying that Lord doesn't become human. He acts like human. So that the humans can understand the purport of how to deal the ideal human life. When Lord Ramchandra appeared, he led a human style of life, not he became a human. He showed that the life will be full of reversals, will be filled with unplanned events, and still one should follow the path of Dharma. So Lord, in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna is saying, Yadyad acharati shrestha tattat teve tarojana. Great people, whatever they do as a role model, the others follow. And here it is said that Lord appearing as like that, dealing like that, doesn't mean that he has become like that. In fact, in the purport, Prabhupada mentions a very nice word, imposition. Of course, Indians coming from our education, imposition means to write same thing 100 times, so that we can remember. But the imposition means to put something on top of what it is not. It is said, fools deride me when I descend in human form. Krishna says, Krishna appears on this earth or within this universe without any change in his spiritual body or spiritual qualities. Indeed, he is never influenced by material qualities. He is always free from such qualities, but he appears to act under material influence. This understanding is called aropita. Arop means to blame or to put some blame on someone. But aropita means something which is not. Rupa means form, aropita means something doesn't have form, which means not reality. So people think this aropita in English is imposition. To think that Lord is material or human is an imposition. And now Parikshit Maharaj is, Sukhadeva Goswami is saying, Sattam rajas tamas iti prakriti natmano guna na tesham yugapati rajan risha ullasa eva va. Ullasa means prominence. It is said that there are three modes of material nature, qualities. Sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna, three qualities, all belong to material world. And do not even touch the Lord. They don't even affect the Lord. These three gunas cannot act by increasing or decreasing simultaneously. So there is no, Lord cannot come under the influence of these three gunas. So is there a question of being partial, impartial? Because that should be the basis. Jaya kale tu sattasya devarshin rajaso suran tamoso yaksha rakshasi tat kala nugono bhajet. It is said, the Supreme Lord cannot be under the influence of the various modes of nature. In fact, he is not affected. Conditioned soul is under the influence of material nature. That is the difference. Otherwise, people call that, hey, I am God, you are God, everyone is God. No. God is eternal and completely spiritual entity. We are spiritual, but we are covered because of the energy that we are in. But Lord is not at all because, in fact, Lord is the creator of that energy. Daivesha gunamai mamamaya duratiyaya. The Lord is creating such energy, and Lord is not influenced by that. But we think that we are the leaders, we are the masters. Because of that, in fact, in the purport of this verse, it said, for instance, we have seen that in the two great wars, at Prabhupada time, which were conducted by the Rajogun and Tamogun, both parties were actually ruined. Yeah? This is Prabhupada is mentioning about what happens in the battle. Two people come together out of passion and ignorance, they fight. Who is winning? Both are losing. The German people declared war against the English to ruin them. But the result was that both parties were ruined. Although the Allies were apparently victorious, at least on paper, actually neither of them were victorious. All this is because of the influence of modes of nature. And one should be very, very careful to understand the Lord, to understand what is it called? Paramatma Tattva. To understand the super soul who is inside our heart. If the Lord is present inside us, why are we that we are doing all these things? Sometimes some non-devotees deal in non-devotee way, devotees in the devotional way. It is said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is present in everyone's heart simply gives results of the increase in various qualities. So the Lord is just granting. He is Upadrashta who is witnessing everything what's happening, and he is also Anumanta, he is giving, yes, you deserve it. Good or bad, this is what you deserve. And in this way, it is said, just as one can understand the supply of fire in wood, the water in water pot or sky in a pot, one can understand whether a living entity is a demon or a demigod by understanding that living entity's devotional performance. So what is the reference through which we can understand a person is devotee or not? Not with the tilak, not just with kantimala, but what? Of course, one should wear tilak, one should have kantimala, one should have devotional clothes. But what is important? Devotional service performances. Devotional performances through which one can understand. A thoughtful man can understand how much a person is favored by the Supreme Lord by seeing his actions. So it is not that the Lord is partial, it is the person who is doing certain work. Based on his activity, Lord is rewarding. And in this verse number 9, it's this. I'm just going through, as I said, in 7 days. It's more than impossible to cover all the wonderful purports of Srila Prabhupada. I encourage everyone to read systematically through these wonderful purports, and of course even come prepared. It's even nice what's going to happen, and then relish this Bhagavatam. So then, it is said, when the Supreme Lord creates different types of bodies, offering a particular body to each living entity according to his character and fruitive activities, the Lord revives all the qualities of middle nature. Then, as a super soul, he enters each body and influences the qualities of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So, in one way, when we are hearing that Lord is the cause of all causes, so can we blame the Lord for our ill fate? Because Lord is cause of all causes, right? What do you say? You, Prabhu? Can we blame the Lord? No, not because it is sinful, no. Not because, okay, Lord will punish us. No. When we have the right understanding that the Lord is just rewarding what we have done for. So we will not blame the Lord. The more and more we don't blame the Lord, the more and more we become devotee. It means the more and more we are devotee, the more we understand the Lord. And then more we understand Him, then we will not have this confusion, doubt. Kalam charantam srijatishu ashrayam pradhana kumbhyan naradeva satyakruta. He says, the Lord, the controller of material energy and spiritual energies, He is the controller of everything, who is certainly the creator of entire cosmos. He creates the time factor to allow material energy and living entities to act within the limits of time. Just like we know there is summer, there is winter, there is different seasons. Are they always same? They keep changing. The time factor, which is the energy of the Lord, is also sometimes have this Sattva gun is dominant, Rajo gun is dominant, sometimes Tamo gun is dominant at a different times, like seasons. And based on what is dominant, usually we tend to act like that. Sometimes when everything is nice, we also surprise, hey, how come I became a devotee? But when something is against, then we start thinking, hey, what's this? I'm struggling in my devotion. How many of us feel struggling in devotion? It's not that time is bad, I'm just saying. Krishna is saying time has a factor. Just like we know the time in Satya Yuga was more conducive for such kind of deep meditation upon the Lord. Now if we want to take a deep meditation, you know what will happen? We may get into sleep. Yoga Nidra. We wanted to start yoga and it becomes Nidra, that's why it's called Yoga Nidra. So and then what happens after that? I mean, okay, not after sleep. So different yugas have different dominance of these three gunas. In which guna we want to be? In which time do we want to be? Sattva guna, Rajo guna or Tamo guna? The mode of goodness, passion or ignorance? In which time do we want to be? Yeah, but do we want to wait until the Sattva guna comes? Yeah, no, this Kali Yuga is not good. Let's wait for Satya Yuga because it's more favorable. Then what are we going to do now?
We'll try.
We will try. We want to become a devotee. When we become a devotee, doesn't matter whether we are. What time doesn't influence us. Why? Because we are directed by the Lord. Krishna is saying, Sarva dharma paricyancha mamekam sharanam raja. If someone gives up everything and comes to me and I am going to take care of him. So we don't want to wait for that life when we can, oh, it's so nice to be in Satya Yuga, you'll have some nice beard. Oh, of course, not for Mataji's, for Prabhu's, yeah, nice beard, nice beard and nice hairstyle. Not so fat. And you don't have to scream. It's so nice, Satya Yuga. No, Kali Yuga, we are blessed because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has inaugurated Sankirtan movement just by chanting the holy name of the Lord. And that too loudly, we don't have to focus. Okay. No, just very openly, loudly chanting will automatically make us focus. Let's try. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, nice focus. Very nice. So that's it. So is it easy or do we want to go to the process of meditating doing Ashtanga Yoga.
This is easy.
This is easy. You also get prasadam also.
I also.
Yeah. Not just only dhyan. So it is said that the Lord, with the factor of time factor, as his energy, he is changing time to time. And in the Purport, Prabhupada mentions, to be more clear, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that creation, maintenance and annihilation are all under the supreme will of the Lord. So easy, right? When we know that who is the controller of everything is Lord, we just satisfy him and we are happy. And then Ya Esha Rajan Api Kala Ishida Sattam Suranikam Tat Pratyanikan Asuran Surapriyo Rajas Tamaskan Praminito Urushrava. Urushrava means whose glories are widespread. Means he's saying, oh Parikshit Maharaj, the time factor enhances the Sattva Guna. Thus, although the Supreme Lord is the controller, he favors the demigods who are mostly situated in Sattva Guna. So, in a way, we can see that Lord is still favoring, but how? Because there are people who want to be in Sattva Guna. And then the demons who are influenced by Tamoguna are annihilated. So the Lord is just seeing who is enjoying under the Sattva Guna, he is favoring them, and who is to be suffering because of being in Tamoguna, he is punished. The Supreme Lord induces the time factor to act in different ways, but he is never partial. Rather, his activities are glorious and therefore he is called Purushrava. He is so great. Can you imagine if someone is so partial, will someone glorify him for so many years? Everyone, so many people want to become famous by doing what? Charity. After some time, you can't, you don't have anything, you need to maintain yourself. Then your real color comes and people don't appreciate. But we can see, though the Lord's wonderful leelas are wonderful, which we can't understand, still, even today, there is Kirtanam of the Lord. He is called Urushrava. In fact, here there is this mention, Srila Madhvacharya says, Kale Kala Vishaye Pishita Dehadi Karanatvat Suranikam Iva Hitam Sattvam. Means ordinarily a murderer is hanged. And in Manu Samhita it is said that a king bestows mercy upon a murderer by killing him. I mean, how cruel it is, right? Someone is killed and how come it can be a mercy? A king is punishing someone with death sentence. How come that king is he not cruel? Is he not partial? Why? Because in Manu Samhita it is said that when the king is killing, he is stopping this person to commit more sins. Because he has already such great propensity to commit more and more sins. So a murderer can become a bigger murderer. So that's why he is punished. And by punishing with a death sentence, which is very, very severe, his sins are cleansed. It is said, because of his sinful activities, such a murderer is killed by mercy of the king. Krishna, the supreme judge, deals with matters in such a way or similar way because he is the supreme controller. The conclusion is therefore that the Lord is always impartial and always very kind to all living entities. In this regard, Sukhadeva Goswami is telling, during the Rajasuya Yajna, Yudhishthira Maharaj has asked a very similar question. So, which means, just like when we want to know the glories of the Lord, we want, when is the Ramayana happened? Treta Yuga? When did this wonderful Leela of Nrsimha happen? Krita Yuga. No, we want some examples now. Yeah. Of course, we are very fortunate that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has incarnated, appeared just 500 years back, and his movement we can see how is like a fire making devotees in every town and village. And of course, similarly here, Parikshit Maharaj wanted to know. Parikshit Maharaj was of Dwapar Yuga. So, Sukhadeva Goswami is telling Yudhishthira Maharaj just recently it happened that in Rajasuya Yajna, Krishna has killed Shishupal. And when everyone were seeing what happened, Shishupal Atma has merged into the Lord. Amazing, isn't it? And what was Shishupal doing all the day? What was Shishupal doing? Was he glorifying, hey Bhagavan, you are the Almighty, Namastubhyam Bhagavate?
No.
No? What was he doing?
He's thinking Lord in a negative way.
He was always thinking Lord is
In a negative way.
not at all Lord. Not even Lord. He was saying he was not in a Kshatriya. He is a chief Yadava. Right? This is just 1 out of 100. So, Sukhadeva Goswami is telling Yudhishthira Maharaj asked this question, how come that Shishupal has attained such a perfection? Of course, that was not the ultimate perfection, but such a perfection in spite of chastising like that. He says, it is said in this connection, Itihasa Surarshina Pritya Maha Krato Rajan Prichet Jata Shatrave. He said, Ajata Shatrava, who is that Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking this question, how come is that the great sage Narada, responding to this inquiry about the history, he started telling a very vivid example. In fact, he said, Drishtva Mahadbhutam Raja Rajasuye Mahakruto. It is very amazing. Mahadbhutam, not Adbhutam, Mahadbhutam, very interesting. Drishtva Vasudeve Bhagavati Sayucha Chebitu Bhujaha Tatrasinam Sura Rishim Raja Pandu Sutah Krito Prapracha Vismita Mana Muninam Shunvatam Idam. Oh, he said, I am really wondering, what is that? That personally I saw that Shishupal merged into the body of God, into the God. Therefore, struck with wonder, he inquired about the reason. Can you tell me, is there something else we have to do other than bhakti? Because we thought bhakti will bring us Krishna, but Shishupal didn't do bhakti, but how can he go to Krishna? This is a very amazing question. He inquired about the reason for this from Narada Muni. While he inquired, all the sages present also heard him ask this question. So, you remember Parikshit Maharaj asked, I want some proof. And the proof is, Sukhadeva Goswami is narrating what Narada Muni has told to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And that's where we see the 7th canto, where Narada Muni is narrating to Yudhishthira Maharaj. He says, there are two kinds of transcendentalists, Prabhupada mentions. One is a Jnani, who is having a very high fund of knowledge, and then there is Bhakta. Is Bhakta intelligent or Jnani intelligent? Both are intelligent?
Bhakta.
Bhakta intelligent? Because you are Bhakta, that's why?
He's smart. Bhakta is smart.
Bhakta is Chatur. Not street smartness, the real smartness. So there are two kinds of transcendentalists. They are also looking for the Lord. One is Jnani. He is referring all the Shastras, understanding all the details. He is also practicing bhakti to some extent because he understands Lord is great. But Bhakta is ultimate. Because ultimately, whether one is a jnani, yogi, or even bhogi, all have to come to what? To become bhakta. Because that is the ultimate, the topmost. And in fact, it said, the bhaktas do not aspire to merge into the existence of Lord. Yeah. Shishupal, however, was neither a jnani, he was not a jnani. If he was jnani, he would not chastise the Lord like that, or talk so abusingly. Or he is a bhakta. Yet simply by envy of the Lord, he attained exalted position. Oh, it's nice, no? All of us anyway are envious, right? Anyway, we are envious of the Lord. If we become more and more envy, then it should work out, right? Should we become more envious of the Lord? Why not? Shishupal has attained perfection. Certainly, this was astonishing. It's very, of course, because you are all devotees, that's why for you it's not so surprising. But it's very surprising because how come Shishupal becomes successful? I want to know that. Is there any other way other than bhakti? Is only bhakti or something else? Etad veditum ichchamaha sarva eva vayam mune bhagavan nindaya veno vijay tamasi patita. I give another example. If Lord is favoring Shishupal, why he didn't favor King Vena? King Vena is not less, na? Shishupal is abusing the Lord, and King Vena, he didn't care the Lord. Both are competing, na? But what happened to Vena? He was simply killed by the Brahmanas, and that too he had to suffer hell. Why Shishupal got higher destination and Vena not? This is the question. I have heard that formerly a king named Vena blasphemed the Supreme Lord, and that all the Brahmanas consequently obliged him to go to hell. So everyone cursed that he has to go to hell. Shishupal should also have been sent to hell. Brahmanas were also there in Rajasuya Yagya. Yagya means there should be Brahmanas, and the Brahmanas could have cursed. But before that, what happened here? How then did he merge into the Lord's existence? Damagosha, Sutta, Papa, and these Damagosha, the son of Damagosha, who is that? Shishupal, and Dandavakra. One second, sorry. Damagosha Sutta Papa Arabhya Kala Bhashanat. Kala Bhashanat means unclear speech of a child. And then what happened is Shishupal, the most sinful son, and also the Dandavakra, both continued in the same habits. They were not at all clean, but still, how come that they can attain such a great? Sapator asatrak Vishnum yad Brahma param abhyayam spitro na chato jihvayam nandyam vivishatus tamah. He's saying these two men, Shishupal and Dandavakra, repeatedly blasphemed the Lord. They were quite healthy. Indeed, their tongues were not attacked by white leprosy. It is said, in the scriptures it is said, if someone blasphemes the Lord, then he will catch white leprosy. We can see that happened in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where one should be very careful to take the name of the Lord. It should be in favorable way. Otherwise, he says, but Dandavakra, Shishupal, they were perfectly well. They didn't have any problem. We are certainly most surprised by this. Sometimes this question comes, why bad things happen to good people? How many of us have this question? Why bad things happen to good people? Even more surprising is, why good things happen to bad people? Right? That's even more amazing. Why good things happen to bad people? Come on. Lord must be crazy. Huh? Katham tasmin bhagavat dura vagraha. Sorry, dura avagraha damani. He said, how was it possible for Shishupal and Dantavakt in presence of everyone they attained whose nature is difficult to attain? Very simple question. And then, now comes very important. This is a matter undoubtedly very wonderful. Indeed, but intelligence has become disturbed, just like a flame of candle in a wind, how it shakes. So please kindly let me know the cause of this wonderful event. I would like to really know what is the cause of all this. Huh? And then Narad Muni is saying, Ragna tat vacha akarnya Narado Bhagavan Rishi Tushtas Praha Tam Abhasya Shrivatas Tat Sadah Katha. And now Narad Muni is going to tell what happened. He is telling that you know what? The most powerful supreme master, spiritual master, he is telling, I am very pleased by your kind question. Come on, how many of us are asking these nice, wonderful questions? Usually we may ask how to make more political, economical advancement, right? But the question that is asked by Yudhishthira Maharaj is about Lord. And then Narad Muni is saying, Nandana stava satkara nyakhartatam kalevaram pradana parayo rajan avivekena kalpitam. So, it's very simple to understand. O king, blasphemy or praise, chastise or respect are experienced because of ignorance. What is it? Because of ignorance. So if someone is if we feel someone is appreciating us or blaspheming us, chastising or respecting us, is experienced in the mode of ignorance. The body of conditioned soul is planned by the Lord for suffering. Oh my God. What is it? Suffering. So which means the Lord has a very bad plan for us?
No.
It is said, the body of the conditioned soul is planned by the Lord for suffering in the material world through the agency of the material energy. In fact, it said that this body, being in the conception of bodily conception of life, he feels the effect of chastisement or praise. So it is the conditioning of the person to feel great or low. And Lord is saying it is his arrangement. Narad Muni is saying, because he has this wrong conception of life, he is subjected to duality like praise and chastisement. Now, whom should we blame? Very careful, I will repeat again. It is said, my dear king, the conditioned soul, being in the bodily conception of life, considers his body to be self and considers everything in relation with the body to be his. That is the cause of one's feeling pain or pleasure. Why to involve Lord here? Lord is impartial. What is the cause of our suffering or pleasure? We are creating that. Yen nibaddho abhimano yam tad vidhat praninam vadaha tatha na yasya kaivalyad abhimano akhilatmanah parasya dama kartur hi himsa kenasya kalpyate. It is said, this is simple. It is said, Lord Vishnu is the supreme controller, the super soul of all living entities. Because he has no material body, he has no false conception of I and mine. The Lord is not partial. It is therefore incorrect to think that he feels pleasure or pain when blasphemed or offered prayers. What does that mean? So the Lord is not affected by blasphemy or praise. Why are we praising them? Why a devotee is doing Kirthan? Kirthan means to praise the Lord, right? To glorify the Lord. Why are we doing that? Because Narad Muni is saying, the Lord is not affected by all this. And in fact, he said, therefore, incorrect to think that the Lord is the one when he is appreciating praise or blasphemy. It says, this is impossible for him. Thus, he has no enemy and no friend. No enemy, no friend. I thought that if I take to devotion, I become friend of Lord. No? Lord himself is saying, Suhrada Sarva Dehinam, I am his friend. And here it is said, no, he is not friend. When he chastises the demons, it is for their good. When Hiranyakashipu is killed, or Hiranyaksha is killed, for whose benefit the Lord is doing? For their benefit. So is he friend or not?
Friend.
Of course, we see it as friend. For him, he is not seeing in the duality mode at all. For him, it's normal. When he chastises the demon, it is for their good. And when he accepts the prayers of the devotee, it is for their good. So, if Lord is so-called punishing someone, it is for their good. And if Lord is accepting prayers, it is also for their good. So we can see it is that he is affected neither by prayers nor by blasphemy. In fact, to prove this, it is said, Tasmat Vairanu Bandhena Nirvairena Bhayena Va Snehat Kamena Va Yunyat Katayin Nekshate Pratak. It is said, now everyone feels inspired. You want to know? The secret is? Okay. Yeah, if kid needs more space, maybe, yeah. Shubham Prabhu. Run this thing. Yeah, maybe if kids need more space, yeah, you can attend. Maybe you can attend. Thank you. Can you open the field door open? It's true. We are getting to the very important part. That's why I'm just making fully calm so that you are fully focused, you can fully understand. So here it says, Tasmat Vairanu Bandhena. We say, therefore, by enmity or by devotional service, enmity, devotional service, by fear, Bhayena, by affection or by lusty desire, by all these or any one of these, if a soul, conditioned soul, somehow or other concentrates his mind upon the Lord, the result is the same. For the Lord, because of his blissful position, is never affected by enmity or friendship. So which means that to answer the question why Shishupal got that merging in the Lord, he said is whether it is one is serving the Lord with favorable ways or serving the Lord unfavorably. How is it possible? How can we serve the Lord unfavorably? We will come to that later. It is said either favorably or unfavorably, lovingly or not. It is said or with fear. Whatever way, yena kena prakarena, if one approaches the Lord and remembers Him, if one remembers the Lord, then the Lord, He is going to get the same result. Whether enmity, devotional life, devotional service, fear, affection, lusty desire, all of them will get to one destination. What is that? The Lord. This is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in the purport that has very nicely explained the word bhayena, which means by fear. When the gopis went to Krishna in the dead of night, they certainly feared chastisement by their relatives, their husbands, brothers and fathers, but nonetheless, not caring for their relatives, they went to Krishna. This is the example of fear. Usually when we hear about fear, whom we will remember?
Comes.
Kamsa. But the gopis, though they were having that fear, they were also remembering the Lord, keeping aside fear. Bhaya, but they kept this, though the fear is there, still they prioritize the Lord and they attain perfection. Srila Madhvacharya says, always says in many ways that one should not blaspheme the Lord, Vishnu, through one's mind, word or actions. For a blasphemer will go to hellish life along with his forefathers. So if Narad Muni is saying you can reach the Lord by becoming enemy of the Lord, that I think for me is easy, right? I don't have to reform, I don't have to change too much. I have to chastise. See, this photo is not nice, that photo is not nice, oh Lord. But so many things I can just continue. There is no limit of my thoughts. No, it's very, very dangerous to think of this nature thinking, oh, I can attain Lord also becoming his enemy. We will know how much painful it is when Hiranyakashipu is killed. It's not so easy to become his enemy. In fact, Sri Madhvacharya is saying that if one commits such kind of offense, then what happens? He will go to hell. Not only he goes to hell, all his forefathers will go to hell. One should be very careful that one should only approach the Lord favorably. Karmana manasa vacha yo vishyad vishnum avyayam majjanti pitaras tasya narake shashpati samaha. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita also there is this mentioned, Tanaham Vishta Vishita Kruran Samsareshu Naradhaman. So one should be very careful not to think of this. Otherwise, why Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna how to lead a devotional life. He could also say, hey, it doesn't matter, you can also be in mode of ignorance. No. One should render properly in the right mood. And then, as the question is coming about Hiranyakashipu, right? The question was, Parikshit Maharaj's question was for about Hiranyakashipu. Right? As for Hiranyakashipu, although he was extremely inimical toward the Supreme Lord, he always thought of his son. One may think that if Hiranyakashipu, he attained success by becoming enemy, the reason for his success is his son. His son Prahlad, because he was always thinking about Prahlad Maharaj, because he was thinking of his devotee, about the Lord's devotee, that's why it is said, therefore by the grace of his son Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu was also delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hiranyakashipu's Shapi, Bhagavan, Nindaya Tama, Vivakshur, Atyaga, Shuno, Prahladasyan Bhāgavata. Because of Prahlad Maharaj, that's why when we come to the last day, we can see the glories of Prahlad Maharaj. But before that we can say, because of Prahlad Maharaj, not only Hiranyakashipu was delivered, but 21 generations of his lineage upward were delivered. Both on the mother side as well as on the father side. So, rather we think, oh, should we really become a devotee or should we try the other way? No, becoming a devotee is the best way. In fact, we don't want to leave it to our kids. Oh, if I make my kid devotee, then my life is successful. I don't have to do anything. If my kid becomes devotee, then I'm done. No. From this Praman we can understand that everyone should aspire to become devotee by rendering favorable service to the Lord. Which means it's not like, hey, I have given birth to a wonderful devotee, that itself is a big service. No. We have to also work our own way. We have to please the Lord and attain success. And so, Yatha Vairanu Bandhena Matyatan Mayata Iyat Natatha Bhakti Yogena Iti Me Nishchita Mati. Nishchita Mati. Mati means opinion. Nishchita Mati means definitely. He says, Narad Muni is saying, by devotional service one cannot achieve such intense absorption in in thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as one can through enmity toward Him. This is my opinion. I don't know how many have very carefully heard. Otherwise, you would have asked me a question. I will repeat again. Narad Muni is saying, by devotional service, one cannot achieve such intense absorption in thought of the Supreme Lord as one can through enmity toward Him. Means who is great? Who is absorbed more?
Anyway, because he is
Again, inspiration, right? Hey, there is always inspiration to become enemy of the Lord. In fact, Narad Muni is saying, this is my opinion, the great devotee, who is considered the topmost devotee of the Lord, he is saying, enemies are far better than devotees. To remember. So, praises Krishna's enemies like Shishupal because their minds are always completely absorbed in Krishna. Devotees, how serious are we? How serious are we to remember Krishna? How serious are we to preach? But there are people who are desperate to spoil preaching programs. They call, Prabhu, what are you going to do on a Saturday night? Come with me, I'll show you the world. And then they take you to a world. There are so many people who are ready to take us away. And devotees are okay. Today I will go to party, tomorrow temple is Sunday. Once a week is okay. Once a week is enough. So that is our weakness. That's why Narad Muni is saying, fact that enemies remember the Lord more. Why? Because they are always scared. Will I die today? Will I die in the middle of the night? All the time remembering, oh, what will happen to me? So in Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj is saying in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Jagai Madai Haite Muni se Papishta, Puri Sera Kita Haita Muni se Lakhishta. It is said, I am, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is so humble, he is saying that I am a worse sinner than Jagai Madai. And I am even lower than the worms in the stool. A pure devotee, a real humble devotee, is having such a great mood. And here we are seeing that Narada Muni is saying, Kita pesaskrita ruddha kudyayam tan anusmaran sambrama bhaya yogena vindate tat swarupatam evam krishne bhagavati maya manuja ishvare vairena puta papmanasya tam apur ani anuchintaye. He is saying, just like a grass worm, as it's meditating to become free, and then it becomes a butterfly. Similarly, here it says, similarly, if the condition so somehow or other, think of Krishna. Somehow or other, Narada Muni is saying, declaring, somehow or other, if one thinks Krishna, who is Sachit Ananda Vigraha, they will become free from their sins. First criteria is to become pure. To become sin-free, how one can do it? By ena kena prakarena, always focusing our mind on Krishna. Whether thinking of Him as their worshipable Lord or as enemy, because of constant thinking of Him, they will regain their spiritual bodies. This is what is declared. Lot of inspiration. Kama, Dvesha, Bhayat, Sneha. These are 4 things. Kama, Dvesha, Bhayat, Sneha, Yatha Bhakteshvare Manaya, Aveshya Tad Adham Hitva, Bhavat Tad Gatim Gatav. It is said, many persons have attained liberation by simply thinking of Krishna with great attention and giving up sinful activities. This is declared, this is confirmed. And then the examples given is Gopya Kamas Bhayat Kamso Dveshad Chaityadayo Nripaha Sambandhat Vrishnaya Snehat Yuyam Bhaktya Vayam Vibho. Praman. The examples given here are Narad Muni is telling to Yudhishthira Maharaj, Gopis have attained Krishna by their desire. Kamsa attained by is fear. Shishupal attained by Vairinam, envy. Then Yadus, by their familiar relationship with Krishna, by relationship. And you, he's saying Pandavas. How did Pandavas attain Krishna? By your great affection for Krishna. The general devotees like me, not me, Narad Muni is saying, general devotees like me, Narad Muni is saying, by our devotional service, have obtained the mercy of Krishna. So what is that? Through what process? Shishupal process is there. Which one do we want to choose? Shishupal has attained. Yeah. Here Narad Muni. Do we want to follow Narad Muni or Shishupal? Narad Muni. Favorable. Peace and no peace. Not pieces, but peace. So, Kathamopi na Venaha syat. And now we want to know what happened to Vena, right? If Shishupal attained success, what happened to Vena? He says, somehow or other one must consider the form of Krishna very seriously. Then, by one of the 5 different processes mentioned above, one can return home back to Godhead. Atheist like King Vena. Who is Vena? Atheist. King Vena didn't consider the Lord as great. He didn't even care Lord. He is thinking, I am God. You know what? In Bhagavatam we see that King Vena told to the Brahmanas who came and told, hey Rajan, you have to behave well. He said, I think you are envious of me. Because I am supposed to enjoy all the facilities of this world because I am the king. And king is the representative of the Lord. Which means I am the Lord. That is atheistic mentality. To think oneself as a Lord is atheistic mentality. And because King Vena was having this atheistic mentality, he didn't succeed. Therefore, one must somehow think of Krishna, whether in a friendly way or inimically. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in this connection, Tena Shishupaladi Vinna Pratikula Bhavam Didhishur Yena Iva Narakam Yati Bhavaha. Except for Shishupal, those who go against the regulative principles, we can't simply take, hey, Shishupal did it, we do it. Our acharyas are giving to be very careful how to understand the right meaning of the verse. That's why the tikas of the acharyas are very important. What are they saying? Except for Shishupal. Shishupal is exception. Don't just follow him. Those who go against the regulative principles cannot attain salvation and are surely destined for hellish life. That's why the regulative principles is that one must always think of Krishna, whether as a friend or enemy. So what are the regulative principles? No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no inattentive chant. Okay, that comes. But at least 4 regulative principles. And saying so, Narad Muni is telling, after hearing to this, Yudhishthira Maharaj still has question. Don't we have question? Is it clear everything? No. Yudhishthira Maharaj has a question. He is saying, what kind of great curse could affect even liberated Vishnu Bhaktas? When you are saying, if Shishupal, they have remembered, they have seen, they were always looking for Krishna, how come the demons, you say they are devotees. It is said the word is used as Parshada. Parshada, Paurav, they are Pungavas, they are experts in being devotees of the Lord. Who are they? Jaya, Vijaya. Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking, Jaya, Vijaya are great devotees. How come they got cursed? What sort of person could curse even the Lord's associates? Someone who can't understand devotee, they will only curse, right? So what kind of a devotee, what kind of person is? For unflinching devotees of the Lord to fall again to this material world is impossible. I can't believe it. This is what he's saying. And in the purport, Prabhupada mentions, Maharaj Yudhishthira therefore was surprised that a pure devotee could return to this material world. How many of us have this question? When we are doing bhakti, always this question comes, even if I make it this time, what is the guarantee I will stay there? How many of us have this question? Even if with great effort I really become successful, what is the guarantee that I will stay there? Because if I would have stayed there, why did I come here? Anyone has this catch-22 question? You had this question? Huh? So, are you still inspired to do bhakti?
Yes.
Why? Why should we do when we again have to come back? That to great devotees of the Lord, Jaya Vijaya, who are just serving the Lord in the spiritual world, not even material world. Yeah, here there is, okay, maybe something we would have done. Huh? This is certainly a very important question. This is what Prabhupada mentioned in the purport. He says, Dehe Nendriyeshu Hinanam Vaikuntapura Vasinam Deha Sambandham Etad Akyatum Arhasi. Please describe now. I am really eager to know. Etad Akyatum. Akyatum means only you can explain. Etad Akyatum. Akyatum means to describe, and Etad means only you. Which means we can't just go and ask anyone. Can you tell is killing Katha was okay? Huh? Is killing Abhimanyu is okay? Is killing no, not going to anyone and everyone. Go to the right acharyas who can explain things properly. Yudhishthir Maharaj is saying, I want to hear from you only because I see you as my praman. Bona fide. Only you explain. And then, so Narada Muni is saying, Ekada Brahmana Putra Vishnu Lokam Yadrichya Sananda Nandayo Jagmuhus Charanto Bhuvana Trayam. So anyway, we know this pastime when we have gone through the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and in that context where Varaha Swami appeared at that time, Jaya Vijaya were the doorkeepers who have stopped Kumaras, and then they incurred a curse and all these things. We know. So Narada Muni is just referring to that in just 5 verses. And then he said, although these 4 great sages were older than Brahma's other sons, but they looked just like 5-year boys. And when Jaya Vijaya saw them trying to enter Vaikunta, these 2 gatekeepers, thinking them ordinary children, forbid them to enter. And then what happened? Thus, checked by the doorkeepers, Sanandana and other great sages very angrily cursed, you 2 foolish gatekeepers, they said, being agitated by the material qualities of passion and ignorance, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, because of these 2, when sometimes these dominate, you are unfit to live at the shelter of Madhut Fisher, lotus feet. Another question. How is it possible Jaya Vijaya, who are in the spiritual world, can have the influence of Rajogun and Tamogun? We know that this is in the material world, right? The 3 modes, the influences of the 3 modes should be where?
In the material world.
In the material world. But how come that the Jaya and Vijaya had this? How come the Kumaras are saying this? He says, it would be better for you to go immediately to the material world and take your birth in a family of most sinful asuras. If that is your nature, that is the best place, go back. So the place where we are living is very suitable for people who want to enjoy life in passion and life in ignorance. But why did they come here? Because they are devotees. Because Jaya and Vijaya are devotees of the Lord, that's why the Lord wanted to engage them in His service. And this cursing is just a means. It's just only a way so that the whole Leela can happen. But he said, while Jaya Vijaya, thus cursed by the sages, were falling to the material world, they were addressed by the same sages as follows. He says, oh doorkeepers, after 3 births, you will be able to return to your position in Vaikunta, for then the duration of curse will be ended. So the Kumaras also know, okay, for some time they were, just like when Parikshit Maharaj has put this snake, dead snake around the neck of Shringa's father. How come a devotee do this? But the Lord has a plan and He made arrangements such a way that the Leela can happen. Hato Hiranyakashipur Harina Simha Rupina Hiranyaksho Dadodhare Bibhrata Saukaram Vapuhu. So in this one shloka he is saying that way when Jaya and Vijaya have come, then the Lord has come as Varahadeva to kill Hiranyaksha, and then Hiranyakashipu in the form of Simharupina, in the form of Lion Lord. Hiranyakashipu Putram Prahladam Keshava Priyam Jigamsur Akarum Nana Yatana Mrityu Hetave. And he said, desiring to kill his son, this Narad Muni is just briefly telling what happened. Narad Muni is saying, to kill his son, who was a great devotee of the Lord, Hiranyakashipu tortured him in many ways. Tam sarva bhutatma bhutam prasannatma samadarshanam Bhagavata tejasa sprishtam nasaknod dantum udyamaihi. He's saying, what? The Lord, who is the super soul present in everyone, peaceful and equal to everyone, since the great devotee Prahlad was protected by the Lord's potency, Hiranyakashipu was unable to kill him. In spite of endeavoring with lot of envious ways, he tried to kill him. Nothing happened. Tatastau Rakshasau Jatau Kesinyam Vishravat Sutau Ravana Kumbhakarnascha Sarva Lokopa Tapanam. Sarva Lokopatanam. It says, later this same, who is this? Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, they became Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Yeah, and in Dwapara became as Shishupal and Gandharva. So Narad Muni is saying, therefore the same Jaya Vijaya, the two doorkeepers, they took birth in this form, and they were extremely troublesome to all the people all over the world. Tatravi Raghavo Bhutva, the Lord Ramachandra, he appeared to kill them. And Tav Atra Kshatrayo Jato Matra Spastasmajo Tava Adhuna Shapa Vimukto Krishna Chakra Hatam Sayasau. And then what happened? In this way, the next life, the Shishupal came and then he was killed through Krishna's disc. After telling all these things, now these two doorkeepers, two associates of the Lord Jaya Vijaya, maintained a feeling of enmity for a very long time because of always thinking of Krishna in this way. They regained shelter. So of course, not just thinking as enemy. After they have completed the 3 lives, they have attained back to Godhead. And now, very important question, which is also the last verse of this chapter, so to say, is Vidvesho Daite Putre Katham Asin Mahatmani Bruhime Bhagavan Yena Prahaladasyachuta Atmata. He is saying, Maharaj Yudhishthira is asking, oh my Lord, Narad Muni, why was there such enmity between Hiranyakashipu and his beloved son Prahlad Maharaj? How did Prahlad Maharaj become such a great devotee of Lord Krishna? Kindly explain this to me. That's what we will discuss tomorrow. We will discuss to understand the greatness of Prahlad Maharaj. How did he appear? This is also what we will discuss. We will also discuss some very interesting questions. If Prahlad is such a great devotee, why will someone want to kill him? Right? To kill someone, there should be a good reason. When a kid is so nice, very respectful, is an epitome of great qualities, in spite of so many great things, why did Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill his own son? Interesting? We will discuss tomorrow. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada. Any thoughts or questions? Maybe if there's a mic around, or you can speak louder, I can read for you. That is too far. You can come closer.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Probably I have multiple questions, but I'll stick with one question.
I'm very, very confident. Bhakti Bhushan Maharaj is here, so you will definitely get answers.
Okay. So you mentioned about the Ajamila saying that he's just sent Narayana at the end and he got liberation. So, what I felt like that is his prarabdha got over by the time he finished all his material life, and by just saying Narayana, his prarabdha got over and got liberation. Why I'm saying this? Did Dhruva meditated for thousands of years and then he got the Lord, but he chanted just one word and he got the liberation. Is prarabdha is inside the picture there?
So your question is, how come that Ajamil was successful in spite of very sinful life?
But Dhruva meditated thousands of years just to get the Lord there.
5,000.
Okay. Dhruva has meditated so rigorously.
Yes.
No, 6 months.
Not thousands of years. No?
6 months.
I mean, whatever the amount of time,
What
but
is
there's
6
some
months?
amount of time there.
4 months, I think.
No, 6 months.
6 months. 6 months. Which project do you want to join? Ajamil's or Dhruva Maharaj? What is inspiring you?
No, of course Dhruva there, but
No, I got it. So we should also know who is Ajamil, right? He is a Brahmana, and in fact he is a epitome of so many great Brahmanical qualities. It is only a moment of inattentiveness due to which he fell down. And the Lord, so we are not just giving credit only to his past life, life that he was a great devotee anyway. But what happened is that when someone slips, can you imagine how difficult it is again to come back on track?
but one word. We are in the dying state. We said Narayan, I don't know how
You want to
far
try
it will
that?
work.
You want to try that? Do you want to take a risk for the last minute? We are saying the glories of the holy name, that even if one is chanting, he can attain success. Doesn't mean that let me wait for the last minute and then let me do it. The chances, it is said that when one is in the state of dying, a big reel of his past activities will come in play. So, So, to remember the Lord in the last moment can become quite challenging because one is remembering so many other things that are not so favorable unless one has practice.
So the mountains of Prarabdha do not matter there also.
What?
I mean,
No, it can help. It's not that you are going down. You can still maintain as a devotee, not perfection. So Krishna is saying, right? Maybe kids again need some time. Maybe 5-10 minutes. Thank you. Sorry. Definitely we are working out, and when we are talking about prarabdha, we are still talking at the realm of karma. Karma siddhanta means if you are doing good deed, then you are getting good result. If you are doing bad, you are getting bad. But a devotee, when he is practicing, he is doing akarma, which means he is doing and chanting the name of the Lord. He is akarma. Yeah. So prarabdha is helping us to be having that environment to do. But in that environment, are we doing that? Maybe. That's what. Chances are there. Yeah.
Prabhuji,
One second. So, to address this question, did Ajamil, if you go in the path of Ajamil, for example, or Dhruva, because Dhruva's lifestyle could be quite rigorous for us in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult. Should we take the path of Ajamil? It is said that there is this sadhana siddhas and nitya siddhas,
but why it took 6 months?
and
for
kripa
him?
siddhas. And then there is also kripa siddha, means mercy of the Lord. So there is also that one gets the mercy of the Lord, yeah, if He wants to grant. But we also have to prove ourselves that we really want it through our sadhana.
So it took 6 months for Dhruva, but one few seconds for Ajamila.
So Katvanga, he got in one moment, in one muhurta. It is said that for bhakti there is no such kind of restrictions that okay, someone is a male, female, or even when we go through Prahlad Pastor, we can see that Prahlad heard to Narad Muni when he was in the womb of his mother.
You don't eat fruits.
So bhakti, nothing can
Don't
stop.
find in the
It's all depending on our qualification to accept it, to be able to receive it. Yeah? Yes, good. It is Prabhupada says that it is simple. Yeah. It is not complicated. We make it complicated. That's why it takes more time. So, if one sincerely chants, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, right? Kirtaniya Sadahari, when is it possible when we become humble? How can we become humble just by accepting, having faith? So when we have this process, when we take up to this process, it's easy. When we don't take up to the process, it becomes more difficult. Yeah? And again, when we are talking about Dhruva time, yeah, at his time and our time is different. We can't fast one full day. Yeah?
But there is no definite answer why it took some time from Dhruva, but it took a few seconds for Ajamila.
Dhruva was a Kshatriya. He had that strong determination through which he really made it. Still, he took 6 months. Yeah. And at that time, of course, his guru was Narad Muni, who has given the mantra, who has given the direction, and he has attained by sticking to that process. So, he got that recipe, he attained that perfection in that time. And here in the case of Ajamil, he got this recipe, that he got the holy name, yeah, Sufeli Singer, by chance, that he had his son's name is Narayan, and he attained.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Maharaj, would you like to add something?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I really don't have a question, but it's regarding an extension of Kagan Prabhu's question only. So, Ajamil, what I have heard from Bhagavad Katha, that Ajamil didn't get moksha just...
He has to go. He got a ticket to go to somewhere to, where is it, to ashram?
In Haridwar.
Haridwar.
Yeah.
And he did his remaining part that he did. So he got back to his senses. Yeah. So by that credit is given for chanting the name of the Lord. So that whatever remaining is needed, he cleansed himself and then it will perfect.
Second chance.
Second chance.
Prabhu, yeah. Prabhu, regarding the time frame, that the Dhruva took like 6 months and somebody got it just one moment, and for others, like for example, Hiranyakashipu did 1000 years of devotion of Lord Brahma, and then he got the darshan, who is also an extension of Lord Krishna, we can say. So, is it only the time, or it's like a factor of time multiplied by intensity or something, intensity of devotion?
Yeah. As I said, so in the case of Dhruva, the intensity, of course in the case of Hiranyakashipu also there was intensity. When Dhruva Maharaj was doing, then the whole cosmos got stuck. Yeah, it was just like everything. Yeah, he could suck the whole air and everything became still. And in the case of Hiranyakashipu also, when he was doing tapasya, it was also very, very rigorous tapasya.
Prabhu, apart from the Katha, I have one question regarding the Sudji Maharaj, Saunakadi Paramahansa and Kadbhushandi Maharaj. Who are they?
Okay. We will come to that, Prabhuji. First, we will cover part of the day. Sanjay Prabhu, you had a question?
Yeah, I'll just speak loud. My question is about, I think Shishupal emerged into the Brahman effulgence.
Lord.
Okay, so it's different if one is merging into the body or the Brahman effulgence?
He got into the Lord. Yeah, the spirit entered into the Lord.
Yes, but what kind of liberation is this?
Sayujya Mukti.
So he gets the same body as Krishna?
No. Yeah, he gets liberated, he gets freedom from what he is, right? But actually he had to do, that's why you can see that he has to again perform tapasya so that he can become a devotee and then go back. That's why in one of the translations Narad Muni is saying that after he has finished these 3 lives, though he merged into the Brahman, but still he didn't just attain perfection, that he immediately went back to the spiritual abode. In one of the verse, it is said that he has to perform spiritual activities and then eventually has entered the spiritual world.
So he has to come back to the material world.
So there is no permanent liberation.
Permanent liberation? No. You wanted? I mean, I never heard there is a permanent liberation. I don't
Yes,
know.
that was confusing because if it's liberation, so if they have to come back because in the Brahman effulgence they cannot stay, so there's no activity. So they have to come back, so they will start as a mountain and then again go through the process.
I have heard both. One, what you have just said. One is that in Brahmajyoti, because there is no activities to perform, yeah, he takes a form. But I don't know whether he takes only the human form on the earth. Yeah, so he can also be in the what is it called, Satya Loka, and he can eventually go from there. This is what I heard. In the context when we are reading about there is partial annihilation and full annihilation, and how everything is inundated, where the living, the people who are living in the higher planets, yeah, that they stay, they can promote from there itself directly to the spiritual world. They don't have to come to the planet. Yeah. So both are positive in this. Yes,
Prabhuji, you mentioned something about the Lord being Arupita and something about we mistakenly assume that there's an imposition on the. Could you explain that again? I didn't understand.
For us to, because of our immaturity to think that Lord is under this conditioning, is we are attributing something that's not reality onto the Lord. The Lord is not under the influence of the material nature, but we tend to think that Lord is partial or not partial. That is because of our conditioning, and that is what we call aropita. Yeah.
I have few more questions.
Yes.
Prabhuji, you mentioned something about called time factor. You specifically said you said that something about the time factor. You said that the time factor, which is the energy of the Lord, and you said that Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas can sometimes be dominate at certain time period. So what does it mean? You said when Lord is one very pure, he's
Okay. Now it's your turn. Not your turn. 5 more minutes. Yeah. Navina, can you take the kid out? Okay.
So you mentioned about the time factor, and at that time period there will be Sattva is dominant, Rajas is dominant, and Tamas is dominant. So my question is, I did not understand that topic very clearly, because when the Lord is very very pure, how come the Lord can create the Tamas and Rajas? I feel like is it not a pure illusion, because we are with the Lord who is 100% pure.
The Lord can create, but Lord is not impacting or affected by that. So Lord can create. So for example, government can create a prison house, but will not say, hey, let me enjoy prison. So the Lord is creating all the material factors, energies. So, so the Lord is creating everything, yeah, for conditioning us, because we wanted to be conditioned so that we can be masters, we can be enjoyers. Because we wanted it, He created it, doesn't mean that He is going to enjoy that what He created. Because when we create, we suffer, because we are under the influence of karma. Yeah, but the Lord is not under the influence of karma. He is not affected. He is fully free to do whatever He wants, and still He is not impacted by it. And coming back to the time factor, we are mentioning that the Lord in the form of time, He is navigating through the events of activities. Yeah, when we say an activity, activity is driven by based on time. Without the time, how can we say an activity has happened?
Okay, certain period has happened. Okay.
So that energy, yeah, can we stop time? Why? Because it's not man-made. It's the Lord Himself in that energy form. He is exercising the energies through which one can execute these activities according to the inclinations. Yeah, and the time also, as we said, that's why we hear Satya Yuga is in the mode of goodness, right? Predominated. Why are we saying so? At that time, this guna is more favored, and that's why the people who benefit from that time are devatas, and that's why Lord is favoring them. And in Kali Yuga, when Tamogun, Rajogun are dominant and people are working in that, He is accordingly punishing. So, what is the basis? Time. If there is no time, we are not talking about Satya Yuga, we are not talking about Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga. Maybe last question.
So you were talking about the concept of offense, and also one should approach the Lord favorably. So when the Lord, you were talking about the concept of offense and also approaching God favorably. So when the Lord is seeing everyone as a pure spirit, I don't know how He is not differentiating the demon or the any conditioned soul as this is, he is bad, he is good, he is bad, he is good. He is looking in all pure spirit form. Then how come? So whatever the demon is saying, whether it's in a negative way or positive way, it doesn't mean anything to him, right? So how come it is? How can you say this is bad or this is good? This is favorable. This is not favorable. He is not differentiating it because
the father doesn't take the offense, but still there is an etiquette how the son should behave. Right? If the father is all kind and loving, etc., but still if the kid is not good, yeah, he is not so good. There are some guidelines. That's what we have these scriptures through which we are taught how to behave well. So Lord will not take it, but we should be serious that we don't. Because okay, Lord is all merciful. Let me do whatever nonsense I want.
okay.
Right? So the Lord is not having any problem. We should not misuse that Lord is our best friend. Sometimes we exploit, right? If someone is our friend, what we will do? Okay, let me exploit. Let's not exploit the Lord because He is so great friend.
But both get liberation in the end.
Yeah, but as Srila Madhvacharya is saying, there is a risk that an offense can lead us to hellish life. Just like in government, you can't simply say, hey, there is no problem to make crime, to commit crime. No, he will be punished.
But Hiranyakashipu got liberation.
Because he is a devotee.
But everyone came from the same Golokadam, right?
Okay.
May not be.
What other please from?
There are always some who are always there here. It's not like we are all already in the spiritual world. There are Nitya Siddhas who are eternally liberated. Then there are Nitya Baddhas who are okay, if you do good, then you can go to the spiritual.
Okay, then question may lead to what made them stay here for in the first place then.
7th canto. Why we end up here? We had the desire. The Lord created. Yeah, we were not. Yeah. The question is, okay, if Lord created everyone in the spiritual world, is that the question, right? If we all are spirit souls, we are all created in the spiritual world, why are we here? Yeah? Are we coming into which category? Are we coming into the Siddhas?
Yes, first, but when you are with the Lord, how did the even Mahamaya entered in the form of a desire there? I don't think so. The
answer I know is it is because of free will that we are given. The free will we can always use. Sometimes we know something but still we do, don't we? It's not because of ignorance. It's because of liberty, it's because of freedom that we have. If we don't have freedom, we won't do it. Because we have freedom, then we start using it.
So ignorance can come even in the presence of the Lord.
I'm not saying ignorance. It's not ignorance.
I mean, the desire is coming because of the ignorance, right?
No. You still want to lord over. You just want to try it, huh? Because you have free will, you want to do something. Just like you know smoking is injurious, right? You have knowledge, it's not you are ignorant. Still you do it.
But the pure Atman can decide that I want to come down.
Yes, still he also want to see, okay, Lord is there, he can take care.
Okay, then I can come down, I can go up, I can come down, I can go up. It can happen any number of times.
Yeah. That's what once His Holiness Jayadhar Maharaj said. Yeah. Of course, our expectation is that once we go back, we stay there forever. Yes, even Krishna is saying that once you come back, you stay forever. But still, free will is there, which can also be there, right? So both are there. You can stay, you can, you need not. You have free will, you can come back.
Then why do we have to worship the Lord then? Because we are fighting, we are struggling for something, right? By doing very, very intensive sadhana for years and years and years just to go back.
That's why after we go back, let's be careful.
But free will can again come back.
So that we don't use our own free will.
Yeah. There's a whole process of reformation, right? So more chances of not coming back.
Be careful, Kabul.
So I'm sorry not to speak something very sweet for you, but that's what I heard.
Okay.
It means you can also come back if you want. Yeah? Don't stop Bhakti, please. Because I said. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Krishna Maharaj ki Jai. Prabhupada ki Jai.